ready for another lesson?
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Back Row Banter, your favorite casual movie talk podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Adam Schwartz, and on this week's episode, we'll be talking about the movie Spider-Man, Brand New Day. But of course, before we get to any of that, I'm joined today by lonely Nathaniel Gingrich.
Lonely, I'm so lonely.
That was also what came to my head. Ironically.
I don't know if I ever sat down to listen to that song, but I can tell you that it is in here because of just osmosis in 7th grade, I think, at some point.
Right.
And I think it played at a lot of, like, I feel like that's one that they play at, like, ballparks as a joke song when, like, the pitcher needs it, or, like, the pitcher is, like, warming up or something like that, or, you know, like, you know, like when like the manager gets tossed or something, and like they put like hit the road jack or something like that as well too.
Right.
That definitely. I don't know if I've ever heard that lonely song at a ballpark.
Well,
but maybe that's just me.
Maybe I need to work it into rotation.
Maybe you should.
Is that Akon? Is that who sings
I have
that?
no idea.
I don't think so. I think he may have sampled that though.
Okay, maybe that's what it is.
I don't think that original.
I think that's where my affiliation comes from. Is what.
Yeah, it could be the Akon sample.
Yeah, Akon Lonely. There it is.
Sweet.
I'm Mr. Lonely.
Good poll. Also joining us today, it's Big Black Widow BlakeHolder.
Hey, what's going on?
Florence Pugh.
Huh?
Florence Pugh.
Yeah.
In this movie, it's also a spider, which is Florence, Black Widow's a spider in the Spider-Man movie. It makes sense now, right?
Wow.
Of course, that's
You're
why
working
she's
on multiple levels.
together.
That's why she's in the movie. It totally makes sense now. All my problems with the movie are gone.
Yeah. You big brain.
That was it.
That was crossed my mind.
Yep.
Of course, Spider-Man would be friends with Black
course.
Widow. They're thematically similar.
I'm actually surprised we didn't even get a joke like that in the movie.
Honestly, yeah.
Me too. Now that I think about it. Have we had one in the MCU, a Black Widow joke? Has that been made with Spider-Man? I don't think so.
I don't know.
There is a shocking amount of...
It's in Doomsday, and we'll...
we're
we'll
predicting
give
it.
Credit for it. You heard it here first. Back Row Banter. Spider-Man Brand New Day episode.
There we go.
Well, anyway. Let's get into it, guys.
Yeah, what's up, man?
We're missing one person.
Yeah, should be.
I forgot. Yeah, this first episode without our good friend.
It is.
Your good friend Tyler. He's since passed away from COVID. Actually,
finally got him.
Really,
6 years later,
came for him. Yep. It finally caught up to the old man. So he's no longer on the podcast, and he's alive and well, expecting a child.
He's fine.
If you missed our anniversary episode, he's gonna have his first kid soon, and that means his priorities being a father and not being a podcast host with his best friends. So
baby Trabajo, incoming.
You
soon.
make decisions in life, and that's the decision he made. And so now he's not here anymore.
Selfish.
He will be somewhat infrequent, irregular guest when he has time and when he's seen a movie or whatever it is. So it's not the last time we've heard from.
He'll be around.
Back Row Banter. But it's his last. Last week was his last regular episode on the show. He's no longer
from now
regular.
On. He is featured.
Now he's an irregular.
Yeah.
Now I can introduce him as a guest when he comes on the show.
In credits, it's going to be guest starring. Guest
starring, Tyler
featuring.
Fidelis,
if we were releasing albums.
But now we are a mighty triumvirate, and we're here to talk about Spider-Man: Brand New Day. Welcome listeners to the main review segment of the podcast. Nathaniel, if the listener here is new, or maybe they've just forgotten, Can you give them a rundown of how the review segment works?
What up, folks? If you're new or perhaps you've just forgotten, the way that the review segment works here on Back Row Banter is that it is split into two sections. There's the non-spoiler section, and then there's the spoiler section. Pretty self-explanatory. In the excuse me, in the non-spoiler section, we'll go over the IMDb page, who wrote it, who directed it, who's in it, all that good stuff. Talk about the summary of the movie. Talk about our initial thoughts and reactions to it. No spoilers, though. That'll be after the spoiler noise. It'll be called out in the show notes. So hopefully you will not have anything spoiled for you. But even if you don't want to have anything spoiled for you, which, again, once we talk about it, will be any big plot twists or, our deeper thoughts on the movie itself, you can still skip over those and check in the show notes when the timestamp is to see where we rank it on our Entropy list, which is our big list of everything we've watched on the podcast ranked. It's tier listed as well, too, if that's your thing. It's all fun. Yeah. Adam, talk to me about Spider-Man, Brand New Day.
I would love to, Nathaniel. New movie rated PG-13 with a runtime of 2 hours and 25 minutes and an IMDb rating of 8.1 out of 10. Last I checked, Letterboxd was like a 4.1. I don't know if it's dropped at all. It's around there, but it's similarly rated. It is directed by Mr. Destin Daniel Cretton. What else has he done? Am I supposed to be familiar with this man?
He is a talented man. He did Shang-Chi.
Okay.
But the big thing he actually burst onto the scene was Short Term 12, which I want to say might have gotten Brie Larson a nomination at one point.
Oh, okay.
As well too. So yeah, definitely cut his
and he did Just Mercy.
Yeah, cut his teeth on the indie scene. Yeah, also starring Michael B. Jordan. So definitely among the among
this
people.
Guy's got some range here.
Yeah,
seems.
he's and like right out the gate, I want to say for like he definitely has indie cred that he's built up.
Yeah,
but as an action director, seems to be firing on all cylinders as well. Yeah. So shout out to that guy.
Sweet. I'm now a low key decent fan of this guy after reviewing what he's done. I realized this guy's maybe he's got.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out. Short term 12 though.
That is the watch list for sure.
Got a 7.9 on IMDb if you need a kicker there.
Hell yeah. It is written by Chris McKenna and Eric Sommers. And of course, credits go to Stan Lee and Steve Ditko for the credit of Spider-Man. The cast includes Tom Holland, Zendaya, Mark Ruffalo, John Bernthal, Jacob Batalon, Sadie Sink, Florence Pugh, Lisa Colin-Zayas, I think is how you pronounce that. And we have Trammell Tillman, who you might recognize from Severance if you've watched.
Mr. Severance, I think is his name.
Yes, it is. And I think I'll leave it there. That's most of our main cast of characters. The IMDb summary reads as follows. A forgotten Peter Parker lives alone as a full-time Spider-Man until mounting pressure triggers a dangerous change and a powerful new enemy emerges. That's a fine summary, I guess.
Is that like fine or like that's a fine summary?
It's fine. It's fine. It's like
what
very
fine stands for.
C+ tier. It's like, okay. I'm not like the suspense isn't really there for me in the summary, but whatever. Here we are, fellas. We're back in the MCU. Oh, are we so excited to be here or what, Blake?
Immediate pass off to the resident MCU hater.
I'm probably gonna be the lowest on this in transparency, as expected. I think we all kind of knew that. Yeah, I mean it's. I went in not with a ton of expectations. Now I knew this thing was going just absolutely fucking nuts in the box office, right? Like we talked about that on our year 6 episode. Yeah. So that maybe like persuade me a little bit of like, okay, maybe it is a little different. But then like as I was sitting down, I was like, I don't know why I would think that. Right? So then, like the movie started, and it was like, it's what I thought, man. It's an okay flick. there's some themes of like handling grief and how you get around with that as an adult. Like some of that stuff's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm just out, dude. I'm just out.
Fully out.
Movies,
Okay.
I don't think I care, man. I don't think I care for Doomsday. I don't think I care for the setup that they're trying to bring in. Well, I guess we're not getting into spoilers, but they're trying to bring in
other characters.
Yeah, other characters, right? I guess we'll use that as a placeholder now. I don't think I really care for any of that stuff anymore, man. I'm not saying that the story's not saying that the story's bad, right? Because like I said, there were some themes in here that are pretty impactful across all ages, from childhood to teenagers to adults.
Yeah.
And I definitely appreciate looks like there's some live action shots in here that are pretty cool. Get
Definitely.
some point of view shots that were actually pretty cool too. I was like, oh, okay, like didn't really expect any of that. But in totality, I think I'm just tired of the cyclical superhero film, right? And just how it goes, the chronological steps every single time. And yeah, I don't know. And we'll get into some feats. Feats, Feats, that we'll get into when we get to spoilers. But there's some shit in here in terms of scaling and whatnot. Just like makes me question a lot of things about previous movies that I've seen.
Sure.
But yeah, that's where I'm at though, boys. Don't let me be too much of a Debbie Downer though. This thing's done like fucking $1.4 billion in 2 weeks. So
I mean,
I'm the small, loud minority. Right.
Hey man,
so.
art is subjective, and art is not measured on financial rulers, you know.
Very true. Very true.
So you get into your hater bag, man. I love these talks.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll save some of it for spoilers and stuff as we jump into it. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Lukewarm, but like not horrible. Still better than a lot of other bullshit Marvel's given us the past fucking 5 years, 6 years. Let's be clear on that. Right? It's not a Quantumania. It's not a I don't know.
Captain America Brave New World.
Yeah, right. It's like it's none of those things, right? So let's be clear on that as well. It's absolutely a better film from all levels: cinematography, acting, lighting.
Have you seen all the Tom Holland Spider-Mans then?
Funny enough, I actually just talked about that today because I watched Homecoming in preference for watching Brand New Day.
Okay.
And I've seen them all except the second one.
The second one
was on Jake Gyllenhaal, right?
Yep.
When they're in Europe.
Weirdly think you might actually like that one a little bit because of it's our boy Jake Gyllenhaal and kind of like the
and
character he plays.
I love me some Jake Gyllenhaal.
Did we not review that?
I don't think we did.
Gyllenhaal
No, I think we jumped in with.
You know what? That might have come out. That might have come out
like right before we started the pod, probably.
Yeah. Far From Home, I think is 2019 or something like that.
It's pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It might have gotten delayed during.
It's 2019.
I think
it's after. You know what? It's after Endgame. It's the same year as Endgame.
It is. After. Yeah, you're right.
So
it is pre-pandemic.
I remember it being one of the first movies they made after Endgame. So it's got to be later 2019.
Yeah,
it is. It's 2019. It's like July of that year.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but that's the only one I haven't seen. So I've seen Homecoming, No Way
which
Home,
weirdly might weirdly be your favorite, to be honest with you.
Like, really? Okay.
Yeah, you might.
I am a big Gyllenhaal guy, though.
Yeah.
You guys know that. So.
I mean, he plays a great character in that one as well too, and like I think the what Spider-Man is up against in that one would be appealing to you in certain ways as well too.
Okay.
I agree with you, Nathaniel. I do think Blake would probably enjoy those of all the.
Right?
The most, yeah. Now that you say that. So worth checking that one
It's
out.
also the one right after the blip too. So like you're also dealing with like the kind of payoffs of that, which is also very funny.
Right.
You want me to go, Adam, or you want to go?
You can go.
Yeah, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this, man.
So I think I came at this one from a weird space because I have definitely soured on No Way Home so much in the interim of when it came out and when we reviewed it the first time to now. Like there's a lot I think that I have a weird like. there's a lot in that movie that I don't think necessarily works on a rewatch. Like, I think it's a great experience in the theater. I enjoyed my time at that time. I will always remember it, and I will always remember going back and seeing it with like my family and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
But from a writing perspective to like the kind of where it puts Peter to kind
Which
of Tom Holland's Peter. And like leading into this one makes me like this movie makes me I feel like No Way Home less as well
Okay.
because it's more self-contained and like Peter actually grows. Whereas
Yeah.
No Way Home, when I look back at it now, feels like a weird reset where Peter is being taught lessons that he's supposed to have already learned. And that was just strange. Now, I again, love that Toby and Andrew Garfield show up, but I think like they almost not detract, but like it stalls the Tom Holland character development in some way and kind of puts him in a weird spot for this one. All of that of which is to say, I did really enjoy myself in this movie, and it's my, I think, second favorite Tom Holland Spider-Man performance. Homecoming.
What's your first?
Homecoming being my favorite. Yeah. I think that one's just a great young Spider-Man, and like he's actually a teen, and like the stakes are so they're not high, they're not low level, but they're not like, you know, he's almost immediately after that he's into Infinity War and that kind of thing where he's saving the fucking galaxy and stuff. And like I think that is it's different, and it's like definitely kind of like suburban Spider-Man in some ways. But it is such a nice little Spider-Man story. And this, I think, too, kind of fits into that same thing where we're not calling Thor or anything like that. We're teaming up with the Punisher, and we're like, you know, we're who's the other one? Hulk shows up in this as well, too.
Right.
It's not the same like level, and it made me it one is like an older Spider-Man in general for the Tom Holland character. Again, Toby, I think, was probably the same age as Tom Holland now when he first started playing it.
Sure.
But
Like, Tom Holland, probably 30.
Yeah, but he
like
it is a more mature character at this point, and I feel like he actually grows, and I feel like the rest of the cast is written with actual character arcs as well, too. So I think it's just a much more functional movie than the one previous to it. I think it's the most functional Marvel movie in a while, to be honest with you. Maybe, you know, Thunderbolts was definitely decent, but I think this stands out above that. Probably their best since Guardians 3, if not Endgame.
Sure.
I agree with Guardians 3 for sure.
And yeah, you know, I think for me, like in comparison to Blake, where like I did not see any trailers for this, I did not, you know, really get that much marketing for it actually, and just going in, seeing it actually on week 2, where I still had a full theater, and that kind of thing, it really made me kind of. I feel like there is something very American about Spider-Man. And like that sounds kind of like crazy nowadays because American can mean so many things. But I think like the story we like to tell ourselves about ourselves.
Are you?
That's
the first thing I said to myself.
Yes. Hey, shout out Jesse Plemons. Bit of Sizzle might be coming back later for my what we're watching. But like I think the story that Americans like to tell themselves about themselves is very much that Spider-Man mythos, which is that kind of great power comes great responsibility, but also that like I'm just a normal guy and I've got heartbreak and I've got, you know, problems and I'm trying to make ends meet, and you know my my job, which I've been chosen for. I didn't
Sure.
choose
Yeah.
it chose me, is so demanding and so upsetting. I've got to do that at the detriment of everything else in my life as well too. Like, it's just something that I think we buy into very naturally. And whether you're a child or a teenager where you relate to Peter Parker because he's always heartbroken, or you're an adult where you relate to him because, he's just trying to fucking get by. He is this mass appeal character, and I think they do a good job in this one of building a character arc into that, and how he relates to the antagonist is built into that, I think, as well
Sure.
as his
Yeah, I
own
agree.
his wants and his desires that he for various reasons feels like he either can't have or doesn't deserve to, or that kind of thing. So yeah, I think overall a pretty effective, pretty positive, again, best thing Marvel's put out in a while. Leave it to Spidey to make me feel kind of interested on things again, but I'm happy to have this one out there. So
I like what you said about Spider-Man being an American character. It just made me think how certain people are gonna call Spider or say that Disney making Spider-Man woke when they introduce Miles Morales.
sure, right, like he hasn't well, and I mean even
They're
then,
trying to they're making Spider-Man woke.
yeah,
Be back Peter Parker.
Well, and again, I think Miles Morales was created in part to update the Spider-Man to, like, what would he be now if he was a teenager coming out of New York? He would probably, maybe look more like Miles Morales than he ever would Peter Parker at this point. I think the story goes that Brian Michael Bendis, who I think is the creator, had recently adopted a child of color as well, and wanted to create something for them, but also, like, again, did kind of want to update that. That was like, okay, if there's a kid from Queens, let's update it for the 21st century as well too.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, when they get mad about Miles, the answer is yes. Miles has always been woke, and, and he's a great character because of it as well too.
Yeah.
Anyway, Spider-Man, brand new day. Probably resident biggest Spider-Man fan here.
I think you'd have
My
to be.
favorite.
Yeah.
My favorite superhero, just through and through. Growing up, watching Tobey Maguire, all the way through Andrew Garfield. Now we're here for Spider-Man for Tom Holland, standalone Spider-Man, I should say. So yeah, biggest, I would say, all around Spider-Man fan here. I'm similar to Nathaniel. I have a little bit of mixed feelings, but overall, I'm very positive on this movie. I did really enjoy it. I had a good time with it. It's definitely, Blake, you're not wrong. It still follows the superhero formula that we're kind of used to. There's nothing we're really gonna do to get around that in the current state of things. But I really enjoyed this now being Tom Holland's fourth Spider-Man. I really enjoyed how they treated his character as well as the other characters of Zendaya and I forgot the actor's name. Jacob Adelon for Ned. It feels like they were all treated with maturity, both in the sense that their characters have matured, and I like that they are no longer in high school, and it seems like even beyond college a little bit, or at least in the later years of it, that around there. They've matured both in that way, and also the stories that they're telling with them. It feels very mature in the sense that, like, we have spent enough time with these characters to fully understand them, and we're not doing a lot of hand holding on who they are. Like, we know who they are at this point, or like we're not being introduced in any way. It just felt like a very natural next step to the story. And, like, now that we've had 3 movies with them already, like an entire trilogy with these characters, we're continuing their story in a way that interests me. And that's kind of surprising, where it's like 3 movies in a trilogy. You kind of feel like at the end of a trilogy, you've wrapped up your time with characters and you've told, the story that the stories that three of them are going to have together. And not saying that I was expecting them to like scrap Zendaya and Ned's character and just completely, leave them out of the next movie. But I was surprised with how much I cared about the continuation of the story now that, the events from the last Spider-Man happened and everyone's forgotten Peter Parker. Like it just felt like a good natural progression, and it treated both the characters and the audience with the maturity to carry that on. So I was very happy with the story we got, and overall just happy with the action was great. The directing of Spider-Man, of when you're with him in those POV shots,
Very cool.
I mean, yeah, some of the best I think directing we've had in Spider-Man in a long time.
I'd agree with that.
I really was very impressed.
Better than anything in the John Watts trilogy, I would say.
I would agree. Yeah, I would agree. I was like,
no,
really
I think Destin Daniel Cretton's got the goods, man. Like I mean,
yeah. I agree,
again,
dude.
also set that man free. I want to see what he does. That's not
I agree,
not a comic book movie next.
Give him John Wick 5.
Oh man,
that'd be sweet. But yeah, I was overall very pleased. I don't know, I haven't really quite settled in on where this will rank for me all time and on all the Spider-Man stuff. Because when you start throwing in Spider-Verse 2, it's like, man, there's so much to love here. So at some point I'll go through and maybe figure out where this stack ranks. But
is
I
Tom Holland your number one Spider-Man now?
In terms of my favorite, or in terms of like, no, I think Tobey Maguire will always be my Spider-Man, is the one I grew up with. Like that's just too classic for me. Do I think he is? I think he owns the title more than the other two at this point, with how many movies he's done, how long he's had the character, both in timeline wise and everything.
Well,
and I think
that's the other thing
probably. Go ahead.
We're 4 Spidey movies in, but he's showed up in the other ones as well too.
Yeah, he's been around now. I think 2016, because Civil War was the first movie he showed up in. So 10 years of Tom Holland to Spider-Man. That's a long time.
Yeah.
I think Toby from.
The
2000 to
2007.
Well, the Amazing Spider-Man is the 10th anniversary of the first one, so
that's right.
There is 2 Spider-Mans in the amount of time that Tom Holland's been in.
Yeah. So I also think he's probably the best all-around Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and the way he's written.
Yeah, I mean, again, he was an actual teenager when he was like cast, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's definitely
he's grown into this role of where the Spider-Man is at now, so it doesn't feel fully unnatural. I still think his character is probably a little younger than Tom Holland is.
But people are always playing younger.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think he owns it the most. This was, I think, maybe his best, and partially the writing. I think the best Peter Parker Spider-Man in terms of like the quippiness and the comedy and mixing that in there. I think I enjoyed it maybe the most in this movie, or at least more than I have in the past few. My biggest issues with this movie is like this might be one of the best Spider-Man movies if it wasn't in the MCU. Like if it wasn't part of Disney, and if it didn't have to set up some of Avengers Doomsday and have tie-ins with other characters, like or certain other characters. And I'll elaborate on what I mean there in full spoilers, because I have very specific thoughts on some things. But that is the movie's biggest flaw, is like this actually might be my favorite Spider-Man movie if it just wasn't in the MCU and didn't have to answer to a few of the MCU kind of things that it's just taxed with. And it's taxed with pretty heavily, I would say. Like I'll get into it more. So overall positive. I would love to see Destin Daniel Cretton do another one of these. I'm still excited to see what's next for our titular hero, Spider-Man and Peter Parker. I love these movies. I love you, Spider-Man. All right, are we ready to get into spoilers here, fellas?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're probably a recommend all around.
Yeah, you're the only
at this
questionable
point.
one here, Blake. You
But
are
it's
a
like
recommend
it's
though.
still not objectively a bad movie. Like I try to say, by
Okay.
not recommends for shit that's ass.
Okay,
So
fair enough.
Not the worst way to spend a Saturday outside
yeah,
of the
course.
heat. Yeah.
I would
Totally agree, brother.
I'm also a recommend. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and head into spoilers. So if you've not seen Spider-Man Brand New Day and don't want it spoiled for you, go ahead, check the episode description. We've left a timestamp you could jump to where you'll be taken to the ranking of our movies up upon our Entropy list.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all kind of kick it off is I immediately agree with Nathaniel in saying that I think Homecoming is probably my favorite Spider-Man of the Tom Holland
Sure.
4 films. And like I said, I rewatched that gearing up for Brand New Day. I wasn't gonna watch all 3 of them. I was like, let me just pick fucking one of them, and I didn't pick Far From Home. And while I was watching Homecoming, I was like, I forgot how much I like this movie.
It's pretty good.
I haven't seen it in a long time. Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long
and
time, man.
It's kind of pretty separate from most of the MCU. Like Iron Man's in it, I guess. For a bit,
but it's not like an egregious amount.
Yeah,
and it's to your point. Yeah, the stakes are low, and it's good. I think what plays into it, obviously, is like he's probably like 19.
Yeah,
when that's actually being filmed.
Well, and everyone else is also a teenager. They actually cast teens for his high school as well.
Yeah, right. Those people, to your point, are probably 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. It doesn't look egregious. But yeah, so that's funny. I did want to kind of shed some light on that. So I completely agree with that. And watching that today, I was like, man, I forgot how much I enjoy this. As far as Brand New Day, cinematography, excellent. The POV shots I mentioned were phenomenal. I did like some of the practical or I guess real set pieces, right? I was like, oh man, they've actually got New York in here.
Sure.
It's not CGI. Like when they're on top of a building. I'm like, oh wow, okay.
Some of it isn't.
Sure, of course.
There's a lot of bad backgrounds in this movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. But more than I would anticipate, right? I mean, we've seen scenes in fucking Captain America
or the last
one, the fuck it is, and like people are standing in a fucking field.
Yeah.
And it's a green screen.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
And No Way Home was filmed in a closet. Like that,
of course.
That was during COVID that everyone was making that one. No one's in the same spot.
Totally agree with you guys on that, boy. So I mean, I want to applaud it for that. I think some of the adult and I guess child themes, because they kind of go both ways in this, are it's good to see, like in a superhero film, when you talk about finding yourself, the battles you have to go through, and you still kind of have to come out to still like have your own bones and your own spine, right? And how we all deal through grief, and it's okay when you fail at things, XYZ. That being said, though, man, like that stuff's cool. Outside of that, though, I'm just like, I just don't know if I care, man. Like I in short, man, I'm fucking tired of the Hulk is essentially just become a fucking jobber, and I'm fucking tired of it. Where like Hulk only exists in movies just so we can like watch people beat him up, just so we can scale how strong somebody else is. And it's just fucking annoying, man. Like, I don't know, man. The Hulk that we grew up reading in comics and shit was like Superman level. So some of this shit is just like egregious for me to be watching Spider-Man fight fucking Hulk. And like Spider-Man Loki giving him hands. It's just crazy. Like, I don't know, man. It's just egregious for me to watch, right?
Was that a WWE reference with the jobber? I've only ever heard that used in wrestling. Yeah, in wressling parlance. So I was like, are you a secret WWE guy, Blake?
I've never really been a huge WWE guy. I mean, when I was a little bit. But no, more so. I mean, that's the verbiage we use in like the video game fighting community of how you can like tear characters in Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
So there's some characters that are like, obviously like your leads are always your Scorpion, Sub-Zero, but there's other characters that, this guy's just a jobber. Every fucking video game, he's just so somebody can beat up so we can show how powerful they are.
Yeah, I mean that's where the term comes from, wrestling too. So I think that it is the same thing. I just didn't know that had made its way to. That's so funny. Okay, never. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I didn't even know the
language
the
is weird, man. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like that, just like I can't stand that, dude.
I
And like
will come
we got
to
fucking the Punisher shooting assault rifles at Hulk. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on, dude? How does Hulk not just fucking slam this guy and throw him out of the 80th floor?
Listen,
of the fucking
depending on
Brooklyn
who
Tower?
you talk to, depending on what comics you're looking at, there is canon that has Spider-Man as one is like top 5
I
strongest
know he's got
superheroes.
some feats. I know, but it's like
he is up there in certain canon as like one of the strongest superheroes there is. So
that's because of Spidey sense,
that's my
right?
problem with some of this, because there's so many comic book runs of various characters where you can find feats for all of them to accomplish something that we've never seen before. So it makes it hard for them to scale once you put them in a cinematic universe. So like
I think I mean they're inconsistent. They always
Punisher-
have been. That's kind of
Yeah.
movie to movie they're going to change, but that's kind of comes with the
It's
territory in some
hard,
ways.
dude. Yeah, I know. And like I said, that's just me complaining.
Yeah,
But I'm
I
like,
get
this
it.
is fucking hard. Like, man, I'm watching the Punisher walking here.
You're
with
butting
a fucking LMG and just unloading on Hulk. And like, I'm like, how is this Hulk is just not just throwing this guy?
You're
a
bouncing
mile away.
off the film's internal logic for itself within its universe in comparison to the rest of the Marvel movies on a whole. And like that's not something to be upset about. I don't think that that makes in any way makes your take invalid or anything like that. I think if anything that's you're expecting the films to have an internal logic and have that be consistent across the franchise, which is, probably pretty, fair to allow. But I think it's those things I think pull you out of the movie. I think that's valid. That's going to be that's part of it.
yeah.
So yeah, that's a challenge. I did enjoy. Well, I mean, I go in blind, as I always say. Didn't know Jean Grey was going to be involved in this.
So yeah,
that was pretty cool.
That was what I was going to ask. Did you like the kind of person hopping, and did you at any point think it was a kind of a possession puppeting scenario kind of thing?
And I didn't know that was Jean Grey at first. Immediately, where my mind went to was like Kilgrave.
Okay.
Right. And obviously we didn't see him, but I was like, I know he like Kilgrave. Part of Kilgrave's powers are being able to like influence people close by.
Sure.
And he can
Yeah.
read their mind.
Purple
Like,
Man.
I was like,
yeah.
Okay, maybe it's like going that direction. And like, I didn't anticipate it to be Jean Grey. Right. So like, that was pretty cool. And it's Sadie Sink, which is
it wasn't.
pretty cool. Or you're out on the Jean Grey.
I am and I'm not. I
Okay.
have to.
I
Well,
am and I'm not.
maybe I'm just.
Go
not.
ahead, talk, brother, talk.
Why is she the villain of this movie? Other than to further the MCU and set up X-Men and set up Doomsday and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
She's not a Spider-Man villain. She's not even she's like kind of a villain. She's an anti-hero sometimes.
Yeah.
But like, she's not a Spider-Man villain. Why is she the main villain of a Spider-Man movie? That is
to your point, just to
Sure,
advance the universe, and
right.
And I think you can make the argument the villain is what's the organization? I can't. They have the hand working for him.
That's kind of like saying, why is any MCU villain like there hasn't been a good MCU villain because they always kill them, and B like half the time
for an MCU villain. I'm asking for a Spider-Man villain.
Okay, well you got all of them in the last movie, so like what do you want at this point?
I want more of them. No, I in the same movie where they give us a new version of the Scorpion that looks really cool. He's got this cool suit. We get like 2 seconds of him. And I don't know, man. Spider-Man has so many cool villains that haven't even been touched. Like, I'm grateful they haven't like repeated too many of them. Like, they haven't done another Green Goblin really, and they haven't done.
Well, they did.
Well, they did, but not in Tom Holland Spider-Man, did they?
No, they just brought back
Willem Dafoe, yeah.
But like, I know they did Vulture, which hasn't been done. They did Mysterio, which hasn't been done, and then they brought them all back for the third one. So like, I'm not complaining because we have gotten 2 unique Spider-Man villains in the first 2.
You're forgetting John Malkovich that got cut out of the last one, and then all of your little rotation of villains at the start of this one. Tombstone and was it Black Beetle or whatever, or Arachnid or whoever it was that was
Sure,
fighting him.
but they're not the main villain.
Who did you want?
I don't know, dude. There's so many. Electro or
Was in the
like,
last movie.
or
Was he? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
lame
They did
ass
bring-
Jamie Foxx.
They did bring Jamie Foxx back for that. Yeah.
Give me Black Cat. Give
Sure.
me Kingpin. I mean, we've seen Kingpin before,
And-
so
yeah.
whatever. But I don't know. There's more. There's like
I hear ya.
there's
I hear
so
ya.
many cool Spider-Man villains.
Yeah.
That they could have made a big pull. So that was like that was some of my issue. Like I was kind of bothered by that. Now that being said, I think the way that they integrate Jean Grey's story into this is pretty cool. Like I do like the Jean Grey that they have set up here. I'm not like 100% sold on Sadie Sink being Jean Grey, because speaking of power scaling and powers from the comics, like
That's what
Jean Grey is number one. Like pretty
exactly.
consistently.
Yeah.
Like she is superhero numero uno in most Marvel canons. And I don't know if I really buy that like 5'3" Sadie Sink is like numero. I don't know how tall she is, but I didn't fully buy her as like this is now going to be the most powerful villain in the MCU. That being said, I think she's like a good actress overall, and I think she did a good job in this movie. But I just, as a character, I don't look at her and be like, oh yeah, that's gonna be someone who I respect as like the most powerful.
Saying she doesn't
person.
compare to who's the original? Is it Femke Janssen?
It is Famke Janssen, yeah.
Yeah.
Who I liked in those movies.
Yeah.
I think did a pretty good job. So
to your point though, Adam, of like, oh, you're saying like Spider-Man has a wide variety of other villains that we haven't seen yet. I think some of that led to the surprise where like legitimately did not expect Jean Grey to even be involved.
I would agree.
Like, you know what I mean? I was like, oh,
that's fair.
I kind of started to piece like when they mentioned I forgot whatever they're putting on. There's actually a pretty nice play on Spider-Man of like how trauma can impact your personality and how that his arachnid DNA is higher than his human DNA.
Yeah.
He puts the fucking patch on his shit. I forgot what it's called, and that can kind of equalize him out, right? Like a drug per se. And then he mentioned,
which is
like,
definitely
this
coming
is
back.
one-
Right, like that they're gonna use that on the X-Men, and that's gonna be the
because there was like,
thing.
oh, this is what he's like. Well, that would nerf anybody who has any powers ever, or something like that, or whatever the fucking cheese.
This would work on anyone with mutated DNA.
Oh, yeah, I think that's exactly what it was.
Who else are you alluding to?
I was like, oh, it's gonna be mutants. Like, but yeah, didn't expect him to jump to the Jean Grey ordeal that fast. And interesting that they started off with Jean Grey as essentially just being like a telepath.
Sure.
Immediately.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen that portion of her powers on film. I'm sure there's some comic runs out there that detail a lot of that.
Because like in the first X-Men, she's kind of limited to being telekinetic, right? Professor X is kind of like put the blocks in or whatever so that she can only kind of move a little bit of stuff, but she's built, and like when she gets unleashed, she gets like the telepath powers. But this is almost kind of like switched, where she only had telepath stuff, and now she's been pushed to evolve.
And now she's the Phoenix, essentially, right? Yeah.
Well, not quite yet, I don't think, but yeah, that would be what would happen eventually if they decide to do that. Which I hope they don't. Just let her be Jean Grey for the next 8 years. Don't do the Phoenix Saga. We've seen it twice already. They've never done it well. Like,
and I was gonna say, so I guess at this point though, we are missing a Jean Grey. Who played? Was that Jennifer Lawrence?
No, it was homegirl from Game of Thrones. Mrs. Joe Jonas for a bit. Sophie Turner.
Yeah. I see what you're talking about. Yeah. I was like, I knew we were missing something.
Who also I think was an okay Jean Grey. Like
hard done by. Shitty writing. It could have had a much better movie.
Right. Yeah. The issues were not Sophie Turner.
We're not her. The movie's just ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, so some of that stuff was fascinating, and where I didn't anticipate them to go to that.
I agree. I did not expect the Jean Grey kind of bit, and like when they decided to make her the villain, I was kind of like, oh, that's an interesting place to start X-Men in this universe, particularly her as well too, where she has this kind of anti-hero ambivalent almost side of it, and Yeah, I like when Spider-Man's a buddy. I love like his kind of ability to be like he gets along with everyone, as seen in this movie where he gets along with the Punisher, where like no one typically gets along with the Punisher, and he's like, no, he's my guy, and I think they have a really good connection. So yeah, I liked it. I thought it was an interesting way to go. I did not feel particularly let down by not including the rest of the Spider-Man rogues on that, but I understand where you're coming from there. I didn't mind that whatsoever. I thought it was an interesting way to kind of get X-Men into the Marvel universe, because I always like I think there's a timeline where it's like Peter Parker's like his maybe it gets like delineated that like at some point all of his powers come from the spider, but like the Spidey sense, which spiders don't naturally have, is actually his mutation. So he's a mutant with that on top of it as well too. Kind of like I think Wolverine is technically like his mutation is the claws and healing. It's not the metal claws, kind of that's an add-on on top of it. So I always kind of like that, where it's like mutations are kind of happening and some people just end up with like, a hat on a hat or something like that as well too. And I think this kind of maybe leans into that a little bit, but yeah, it was interesting kind of way to bring them. I mean, they don't say, I think, anyone that they are mutants, but they're saying like people are mutating, or like you are mutating and that kind of thing.
That's kind of the verbiage they use there. And I did like the play on, we'll use the mutation, right, of kind of the arachnid DNA, I think is what they were saying.
Yeah, he gets the organic shooters as well too.
Yeah,
which originally I thought he was like
back up with the Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire, and if you look in those, like even if you go to No Way Home, you can see that there were things that were happening in No Way Home where Tobey Maguire is stronger than Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland Spider-Man. Right, where he's able to hold things pretty much effortlessly, but he also is the only one who can organically make his own webs. Shit, so like some of that kind of feeds.
And I think he says in this one,
movie
like,
where you can see how strong he is.
He says like Peter 2 had them, and he's a cool guy or something. Which
so I appreciated like the lore behind that.
Yeah,
the organic webs really threw me off. Talk about surprises. I was like, wow, I did not expect them.
Well, he's like grabbing his wrist,
mutating Tom Holland's. Yeah, you're right.
And I was thinking maybe like, oh, that's like where he's always like swinging. So like he's got like carpal tunnel kind of thing. And then like when he's like, oh no, it's and then I didn't like the joke where it's just like screaming out and he's just like can't stop it.
Too. I agree. I was
like, that's good.
In the shot where he's fighting the hand in the cages, and it's like it's him going down. Like so, the camera's aimed up at him.
Really
he's going down. And he's just like this going in a circle. Like that was just a little weird too. I'm like, I don't know.
Although I did really enjoy the hand fight. I will say that was a highlight for me.
That was cool.
Yeah. The hand all moving as one, and like
the mix of the kung fu, the mix of the first person camera, which like I saw behind the scenes of how they filmed that. Guy just basically had like a helmet camera or a camera helmet on, and it was just ducking and weaving in between them. It was cool. But yeah, great action choreography from that entire scene. I was very, very pleased. I think that action right there is probably some of the best we've had since Endgame.
Yeah, highlight.
Or
maybe,
definitely, for sure. Or maybe even Shang-Chi to Destin's credit. Like that it was awesome. Fun watch there for the climax.
Trammell Tillman underused, I would say.
Yeah.
Not menacing enough, and is immediately kind of like, your sister died here kind of thing. Like, can we build up to that a little bit? Although I did like the VMAX reveal.
The VMAX reveal was good.
I thought that was well played, and like everyone like searching for it, thinking it's some sort of superhero thing, and like the reveal of that is good. But yeah, the reveal of like, no, I killed her. It was a little bit like on the nose, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree.
Bernthal and Holland, great.
You mean Telemachus and Menelaus?
Sure.
Hilarious. It's just hilarious watching them act together.
It is very funny.
I
2
agree,
weeks
yeah.
after watching them in Odyssey.
But also, Spider-Man should have been split in half from that 50 caliber bullet from a mile away or whatever it was as well too.
Yeah, probably.
Like, the thing's like 6 inches long and is like hitting him, but like even if he's like got superhero physiology, he should at least have a hole like the size.
I mean,
of
I think it trumped him. You know, it just nicked
Oh,
him right
sure,
on the
sure,
side of the
sure.
arm.
Just
I might
winged
have to
him.
cut that. I might have to cut that. Some AI is gonna flag me. Fucking flock camera's gonna track me down.
Yeah, Spider-Man shows up outside your house.
Yeah, for real. Oh God.
But yeah, so I agree with because what's the organization that we're blanking on that has the hand working for him and our
Damage
boy?
control.
Oh, damage
One more time?
control.
Damage control. Thank you.
Which cool name. Cool to
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And then like
Yeah.
you get the also the pieces of Peter Parker, you would call him. Well, I guess at that point he's playing Spider-Man, but of trying to get Ned and MJ to remember him again, like that's kind of a huge portion of the
definitely.
film that we're not really talking about.
Yeah, definitely a big part of it. Yeah, again, Zendaya and Jacob Batalon, pretty good. You know,
Yeah.
I think this is some of the best emotional beats of like
he waits
What's that,
way too
Spider-Man?
long. 4 years while they're all in college is way
100%.
too long to like bring any
But
of that up.
also-
Like it's fine because
Yeah.
you have to age the characters up, and like it's been a while.
you have
and
to
like
age the characters up, and you had. I mean, it did make you feel like, man, like
yeah, he's going
it's
through
been
it.
a long
Yeah.
time. He's going through it. Like he's really trying, and he's also he cares about these people so much. He understands what revealing himself will do. Like even if he can try to jog their memory, even if he can try to get those relationships back with or without their memory.
But
you
can
know,
you
Being in close proximity to them and being friends with them puts them in danger.
Can you imagine meeting your best friend from high school after not talking to them for 4 years and you've gone to
That'd be
college
nuts.
though? Like, dude, you would be so different at that point. Like,
Oh, for sure. Yeah. But no, I think like the way they handled that whole situation between
Yeah, that was
his
pretty good.
feelings of loneliness and pushing on like a mid youth crisis that he's got to grow emotionally. He's got to learn how to handle these emotions while also get help and realize he can't do it alone, and realize he's, you know, even if he's putting these people in danger, you know, he's got to make, you know, he can't always make that decision for them, is something that Zendaya gets to, of like, you know, you don't choose whether I know you or not, or associate with you or not. That's not yours secret to keep. Which I think was pretty poignant. And just like the idea of, and this is, I mean, there are allusions almost or mirror images to Spider-Man 2 when he goes through something similar and he's like, I don't know if I want to be Spider-Man, and he loses his powers for a little bit. It's kind of similar to that, but I think they handle it in a different enough way where I'm still interested. It's very similar type of emotional beat for the character, but I still think the context in which that he goes through this kind of crisis is different enough where I'm like, oh, I'm still invested in what's happening here. And good message, you know, good message for the kids. You know, sometimes your body's just going through changes. You got to learn and adapt.
Changes.
Yeah, true.
Because when you do think about it, you got to put some things in perspective. Like there are kids who saw Homecoming when they were 5, 6, 7, 8, and now they're teenagers and they are going through, you know, changes and stuff like that. That's something else to consider with these movies, is the audience that they're catered towards has grown with them.
I really liked the physical effect whenever Jean Grey was like body hopping and like people would like kind of like almost dance into
like
the
whoosh.
kind of like I really liked that. What was clearly just him, the director, getting a bunch of people with like a dance background or performance background to like, you know, perform this thing jumping from everyone, where it could so easily have just been some sort of CGI, you know, ball or something like that, you know, or POV jump from person to person or something. Like, to have it be a physical kind of thing that was captured in camera, I thought looked cool and like held up pretty well and that kind of stuff. Should we rank this bad boy?
I have one more thing I want to say in terms of
Go ahead,
the MCU-ness of this movie.
Sure.
The other thing I was kind of bothered by was I didn't need Black Widow here.
See, I don't care.
Does not really serve the story. Just kind of felt like, hey, look at this character. If you haven't seen Thunderbolts, if you haven't seen these other movies, she's Black Widow now. Make sure you know that. This is Black Widow now. Because you saw her die, but now we have
but
this
it's Florence
Black Widow.
Pugh in a bath.
It's Florence Pugh in a bath.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
okay, I'm not, not mad, but like it, movie wise,
Yeah.
here's Black Widow. She's Black Widow. Make sure you remember her. If you didn't see Thunderbolts, this is where she's from. Did you know there's the New Avengers is what they're called? And by the way, like Doomsday.
Doesn't she name drop the New Avengers?
She does,
movie?
yeah.
Yeah. So that just felt like very much like, hey, we got to insert this character so that people who see this movie can feel like they have seen that person before in Doomsday.
Sure.
Yeah. And that's another piece of like, along with the Jean Grey thing of like, well, I don't want to just introduce X-Men in the Spider-Man movie. I want a Spider-Man villain. That is the other half of that of like, man, why does Black Widow have to be?
But it's the MCU as well too. Like at a certain point, like
sure, I know, and maybe I'm just
nothing's siloed. Everything's
right,
connected.
exactly.
Yeah,
it is what it is, man.
And I was just, man, I really was. I guess I just had my expectations that no one knows who Peter Parker is. He's on his own now. Like maybe we'll get a full solo Spider movie for
I didn't
MCU.
I didn't trust them to pull that off or like commit to that at this point. Yeah.
That's ever again, brother. Go back and watch Sam Raimi's Spider-Man if you want that. You're
100%.
never getting that again, I promise you.
Case in point, Sam Raimi has made Doctor Strange too. Like even the man himself is sold out at this point. Like
yeah,
can't beat him. Join him.
And with the numbers this thing just did in the box office too, we're talking about that.
Tom Holland's playing him till he's 40.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Okay. Well, I think I'm ready to rank it now. Y'all good?
Let's do it, man. Pull it up and see where I want to go.
All right. Well, welcome back, listeners who skipped over the spoiler segment of the podcast. We're going to go ahead and throw up Spider-Man. Have upon our Entropy list. For those of you who do not know, the Entropy list is Back Row Banter's official list of all the movies we have reviewed, regardless of genre, regardless of anything else, all in one fantastic list compared to one another. It's essentially a rating system rather than doing it out of 10 out of 5 stars. We rank all the movies, compared them to one another. We also compare them within tiers now. So there are 1 of 7 tiers, starting at the S tier, going all the way down to the money laundering tier for movies so bad they make you wonder if they're made to launder. Once we rank them, the movies will get placed into one of those 7 tiers. If you want to reference either list for yourself, either version of the list, they're one list, then you can do so by checking the episode description below. I have yet to go back. I forgot to go back and make sure that the list is updated because one of these is off. Either the Letterboxd or the
I'm on the tier list
by
right now.
movie. So just keep in mind there's a movie missing, but I don't imagine it making a grand difference in your rankings.
I'll try to dig through it tomorrow this weekend.
It's one of the ones we did in the last. It's one of the last like 5 episodes is missing, and I don't know which one it is.
Okay, boys. So just kind of painting some pictures here, right? The highest Spider-Man film we have right now is Across the Spider-Verse. That's at 13.
Good movie.
Below that, you have Into the Spider-Verse at 42. And then you have No Way Home at 65. And then you have the OG Spider-Man at 74. And that's kind of the order of our Spider-Man rankings.
Spider-Man 2 at 63.
Oh, did I skip one? Okay, yeah, my bad. Spider-Man 2 at 63. So Spider-Man 2 is just above the OG Spider-Man.
Okay.
Good catch, brother. Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're looking at if you're going on the Spider-Man tier list. Which Adam, did you say this could be your favorite Spider-Man? Is that what you said?
No. Oh, it could have been if it wasn't in the MCU.
Gotcha.
I think story-wise, like, it's really up there as one of my favorite Spider-Man movies. I think it's well-directed. Action's great. The character's really well-written and one of the best versions of the character, yada, yada, yada. So, no, I don't think this is my favorite, but I think it could have been very far up there. And I think it'll still be in the upper half of Spider-Man movies for me, for sure. I'm actually pretty comfortable doing this. 65 below Tropic Thunder and above No Way Home.
Yeah. No Way Home was kind of the benchmark I was looking at.
Yeah,
Probably
I do
still
like this
a
a little
little
bit
too
more.
high in general. I think we've already moved it down because No Way Home at one point was like 20 something, right? And then I think we've amended that somehow, and just having movies organically being placed above it. But that's a good part. So you're going 65 below Tropic Thunder, above No Way Home. So, but you are putting this above OG Spider-Man and below Spider-Man 2. Huh. Nathaniel's shaking his head. Are you agreeing with that, man? Or
personal opinion is that No Way Home should not be anywhere near as high as it is.
I would probably agree with that.
And Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 1 are probably pretty accurately ranked. I would also agree that the both the animateds across and Into are pretty accurately ranked still. I would probably put this personally within the, like, I think for the Tom Hollands, I like this as much as Homecoming, or around the same as Homecoming. I don't know. Spider-Man 1 and 2 are pretty damn close to early, DNA movies for me. I think Spider-Man 1 is probably my first superhero movie that I'm seeing in theaters, at least.
Sure, yeah.
Or at least of like the modern era kind of thing, So that one's pretty much there. So I think I'm looking at this in like a very respectful next kind of like not even tier, but like row in there of like the topping out with like the Red Line and Sinners, and kind of topping down with like the Top Gun Maverick and Scott Pilgrim, Knight's Tale, kind of that stuff. I think I will put this in between Scott Pilgrim and above Top Gun Maverick, so right at 100.
That's
okay.
I like your thought process.
Ranking, so I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, like I still want it to kind of be in the A-ish tier,
Yeah.
and I think that's where that is for the most part.
Low A tier, I can get behind that.
Yeah, because like you do superhero to superhero, right? Superman 2025 is at 104.
Yeah.
So effectively just below it. And I think that's probably a good place. I agree with all your sentiments of how you ranked the Spider-Man films of that are on our tier list, or Entropy list, I should say. I agree with all those. And so where I was thinking, I was kind of in the same ballpark, lower than Spider-Man at 74, and lower than Spider-Man 2.
I should probably say, really, the thing for me is A Knight's Tale, which is just a movie I just fucking love. So, like, at the end of the day, I couldn't put it above that, which is what kind of, like, dropped it down a little bit there, because it was really kind of maybe a little above that, but yeah. That's where I ended up going.
So I think where I'm leaning is, like, I see the Suicide Squad there, which, like, I'm not the highest on. That's another one that may be quietly a little bit too high.
Sure.
But I was, one of the podcasts I listened to recently, I just went back and caught their episode of Sinners. And I want to rewatch that, man, because like I wasn't the biggest on Sinners when it first came out.
You were not.
I think I'm the one who kind of nuked it, and like I've been saying I want to go back and watch it. Like that was like Haley's favorite movie of all time, one of them. So I want to go back and watch that.
It's a good movie.
So like I'm seeing that, I'm like, okay, maybe I didn't do that justice, but ultimately where I land is like I seen Inside Out 2 at 96, and I was like, Inside Out 2 is a good fucking movie, man.
It is.
The first one is really good. The second one is almost just as good, right? It adds in new emotions, and the same thing we're talking about, how it can teach young kids, right, of how you have to deal with loss and grief and anxiety and trauma and things of that nature. So I think I'm in there. But then I see Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, huge DNA movie for myself. So honestly, I'm just going to put it at the top of B tier. So I'm gonna go 101 and make it the new top of B tier. So it's still above Superman, above Glass Onion, above Tron Legacy, below Top Gun Maverick, which is fucking a mega hit,
Yeah.
right? Respectively, not a mega hit compared to Brand New
The
Day, of
reason
course, but
Paramount's still alive, basically.
yeah. Knight's Tale, Inside Out, Kill Bill Volume 2, Gladiator Classic, Sinners, XYZ. That's where I'm at.
That gives us an average ranking of 88.66. Repeating.
We could put it
Means you
above,
put it
below Redline, above Suicide Squad, in my opinion, if we wanted to.
Yeah, I guess. Sure. I'm probably not
This
going
is
to
better
watch
than
the
Suicide
Suicide
Squad?
Squad again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to watch that movie again.
Sweet.
Honestly, probably won't watch Brand New Day again either. But
I've rewatched the Suicide Squad. I enjoy that movie. I think this one, again, is a weird... Spider-Man's got a weird relationship with America. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah, I can
like
tell.
he feels very like I feel like that's partially why it makes so much fucking money. Like people love Spider-Man more than like I think this makes more. It makes more money than Superman and Batman. Like not combined, but like he is above that.
It like dwarfs those movies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's like not even close.
Spider-Man is that, like, he is just the American hero. I truly feel like there is something different about that, where he just he appeals to all the age quadrants. And like, and like he's been around long enough that people are like, well, no, I saw Spider-Man in my 20s. I love the Spider-Man.
Yeah, there was a kid in my showing today. I assume his father or his guardian, whomever. Shout out to that guy. I was taking him. This kid, no bullshit, man. This kid had to be like 4.
Sure.
Full Spider-Man suit on.
Yeah.
Mask and everything. I was like, holy shit. Like, you don't get that at Batman.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right? Like, you don't get that at
on the
Superman.
Second week of the showing. Yeah. Like, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I think there's something about it.
For sure, dude. For sure.
Yeah. It's funny. You keep saying he's like this big American hero, yet he's been played by 2 British actors.
Well, I mean, that's most American heroes. Fucking Henry Cavill's Superman as well, too. And Christian Bale's Welsh as Batman. Like, you know.
That's fair. What we're watching, fellas. Nathaniel, you were teasing something earlier.
Man, I've been on my bullshit again. So we didn't do what we're watching last week.
Hang on really quick before we go forward. Next week's review, we're doing End of Oak Street.
That would be a different movie.
Dinosaur horror-ish movie with, who do we say, Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway?
Dino. DNA.
Yeah. Looking for directed by It Follows guy. Nathaniel, what we're watching. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. So we didn't do one last week because we were doing the 6-year app and everything. So I don't know what the last thing. Blake, did I tell you I saw Scream 7?
No, you didn't.
Okay.
I haven't even seen that myself.
I saw Scream 7.
Thoughts?
So like I want to be on the right side here. I don't think it was cool what happened to Monica Barrero. I think it was pretty shitty the way that all that went down as well too. You know, it makes me kind of second guess everyone who signed on to that movie after all of that went down, which includes Nev Campbell, which if you've listened to this podcast, you know Nev Campbell was probably my first crush, I think, that I was aware of. So, you know, all of that with a huge grain of salt. It was fine. Like, you know, it wasn't crazy.
Is this the same director as 5 and 6?
No, it is.
6 is
kind of our guys. They're the Ready or Not crew. It's the.
I was gonna say and they did the take in VHS.
Yes,
that's the voice I'm thinking of. Yeah. Radio. What is it? Something Radiohead.
Radio Silence.
Radio Silence.
And it was supposed to be the guy that did Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day 2 was going to do the 7th one. But then after she left, he left too and was like, I can't make this movie. She was the like person basically.
Yeah.
So the guy who directed it is actually the writer from the first one, Kevin Williamson. Who I think
from the first Scream, are you saying Scream
the first
5?
Scream,
who
also did The Faculty, wrote The Faculty, and all of that kind of stuff. Like he's that guy. I think I know what you did last summer. Like the adaptation might also be him as well too. So they got him back to direct it. And so it's like I like it because I'm a Scream fan, right? You know, and
Of course,
that's gonna be there. And so it's probably a 2.5. Like I give it a pass on that, but like it's probably a 2 kind of thing, but it is what it is, you know. Maybe they pull it back around on Scream 8. I don't know, but rented it from the library, felt like I wasn't, you know, putting money in some terrible person's pocket by streaming it, or like,
let me check it out.
Yeah,
see
exactly,
what's to it.
exactly. So other than that, I've been just, you know, going on to either Peacock or Tubi and finding movies that I haven't seen and just putting them on and not second guessing it. So I got to Wet Hot American Summer. If you guys have ever seen that, I had not seen it. Incredibly weird, funny comedy.
I've not, but I've heard good things.
Yeah, definitely good things. Set on the last day of a summer camp. And if you ever went to a summer camp, there will be so many things that you like relate to and understand about it from there. And then everything else is just like very funny because it's very clearly 25 to 30-year-old men playing teenagers and kind of just like having that whole bit. Like Paul Rudd is one of the camp counselors and that kind of thing. It's just very funny. After that, I got to Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. Had never seen that either in my travels, so also very funny. Basically kills the movie or the music biopic for you if you've ever, which we've definitely seen and talked about a lot, but like watching Dewey Cox will make you hate that Bob Marley biopic that we watched because it's just everything about it is just to a T satirized in that. But one of the thing that I gave the bit of sizzle about was Begonia.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, talk about it, dude. I actually started that like 2 weeks ago, and
really,
I didn't finish it.
You dipped out. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I saw that in theaters.
Okay. Yeah, you guys talk about it.
So yeah, I mean, worth finishing, I'd say. Blake, it weirdly has almost the same plot as 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Which once you realize that, you'll. Yes, it's true.
Well, they do. Yeah, they think it's kind of all right. They think she's an alien, and there's some weird shit going on, right? At
it's a guy taking a woman into his basement with the assistance of another man who is there for part of it as well too, and then the overall structure ends up mirroring 10 Cloverfield Lane in some ways.
I see.
Well, I was talking about I think I was referencing earlier because you did the what kind of American are you, which is Jesse Plemons, obviously, who is incredible in it. So is Emma Stone. I enjoyed, I'd say, most of the movie, and like what didn't work, I understand why it didn't work, and I understand what they're going for, and I respect that. I get it. Just doesn't work overall, maybe as a movie as much. And I understand it's a remake of a Korean movie, so I'd be interested in checking that out as well too.
Okay.
But yeah, I like. Obviously, I enjoy Yorgos Lanthimos as a director. I enjoy Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons as actors. I think they're all really great in this. Definitely worth the watch, but I don't think I was like. I remember it being up for some awards. I don't think it should have won, maybe necessarily either, but I did enjoy it.
Okay, so you're not as high on it as the masses.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think it's it has more interesting stuff that it is saying, particularly about like, man, at what point does the CEO class who eats different food, exercises with different drugs in their system, has access to different science than the rest of us,
the ultra wealthy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
What point do they become a different species to us? Like, where does that line really start to kind of blur? And like, if they're here to just like, their whole point is like, well, I am wealthy because I control the means of production to a thing, and by that I control people. Well, that starts to ask some very interesting questions. And so it never quite commits, I think, fully into that realm of everything. And I kind of wish it would, but it's art. It's there for people to talk about and enjoy. So that was definitely it. Finishing it out, like I said, I've been on a tear, and it's been a little while since we've been recorded. So I actually also got to Strange Darling, which I think.
Hell yeah!
Okay, so yes, been building
you
up.
You went in blind, yeah?
I did. I knew what the name of Kyle Gallner's character was. That was the only kind of thing which he's credited as a certain title, basically.
Sure.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was interesting because the person I saw it with made the comment that they didn't enjoy it, they thought, as much as I did, because while watching it, they felt like, maybe not really spoilers, but like, if you don't want to know anything about Strange Darling, check out here at this point. But like be
careful, man.
Yeah.
That is one of those movies I recommend people go
I really do want to talk about this with you. So Blake, if you don't want to hear anything about this, check out
we can
for a
get
second.
in. Yeah, we can do a little.
Go ahead.
Jump ahead. I'll try to timestamp.
Yeah.
When to jump to.
Adam, for your sake, we're at 151 right now.
Okay.
So the person I was watching it with made the comment that if they watched it chronologically, it would not be as interesting because the non-linear setup to it preserves some of the twists for you as you're kind of going. And I kind of like went through and was like, well, okay, so blah, 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 blah. And I do kind of see what they're saying, and I agree with it. But overall, definitely still enjoyed myself. Think it's way more than a cut above of your normal thriller. I think for me, it's an A- B+ overall, just kind of right on that line. But definitely.
I think I can settle at that B+ range in terms of how.
Yeah.
Just the film. The filmmaking is very solid. And everything. I think the
absolutely
story and
tight, well made. Fully knows what it is. Willa Fitzgerald's great. Kyle Gallner's great.
The acting is fantastic.
The rest of the crew was all very fun. That I love. It hits right in that sweet spot for me of that just small. Clearly, maybe a $5 million budget movie or something like that, if that kind of thing. Well put together, though. Absolutely know what they're doing, and just a fun movie overall. But saw it with person, they had criticisms of it, and I was like, you know what? That's very valid. I understand where you're coming from on that. I get that too, but yeah. So I wouldn't say it was like overhyped or anything like that for me, which I thought it was getting close to being in danger of because it's been. But it came out in 2023, so it's been 3 years, and I haven't had a chance to see it yet.
I think I hyped that up immediately.
I knew.
Honestly,
it was
watching
high.
it in theaters was. I mean, could you imagine watching that movie in theaters going in?
Yeah, absolutely.
I was blown away.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a classic example of a true craftsman understanding what they have and how to tell the best version of that story, so that you are engaged as an audience member. Yeah, and that I had the moment where I was like, I think 2 chapters in, and I was like, wait, did they say in the opening crawl the gender of what was of the person or anything? And who I was watching was like, no, and I was like, okay, here we go. Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely a recommend. Interested think it's a fun one to throw on a date night, movie night, or something like that, and just have a blind experience with. Happy for Willa Fitzgerald, I think is her name, if I'm not mistaken. I've been a fan of her since the Scream series, and hope she continues to get lots and lots of work.
Me as well.
With that being said, I watched 2 more movies.
Right. Blake.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I watched.
Hopefully, you weren't listening to the spoiler parts. Of that
No, I took my headset off. I just put it back on probably 30
All right,
seconds
cool.
ago.
So I watched Fahrenheit 9/11, the Michael Moore documentary.
Oh yeah,
Not even familiar.
Yeah, strange movie.
Where do you land on Michael Moore?
So I've really only seen Bowling for Columbine, which I think most people
Okay.
agree is probably his best documentary.
I think that is general consensus, and I haven't, to be clear, I haven't seen a ton of his work, but talked a lot about him in the
documentary class, I assume.
that I took in college, and so know of him.
So it's really now that I watch it where I'm just like, wow, you are a classic like capital L liberal, and you're like out just like asking these questions of people, and sometimes you're kind of being a little unfair to someone who's just like trying to get to their job kind of thing. Like there's a moment in I think in Fahrenheit 9/11 where he's like asking congressmen who are like walking to Capitol Hill if they would consent to sending their children to Iraq or Afghanistan for the Iraq war, and you're like, all right, well, you're kind of being an asshole, and I understand why you are, and I think you're justified in doing so. But me as a viewer, I'm also uncomfortable watching this. And like, I don't know if I need to see this, to be honest with you.
No, I'm with you.
So yeah, I mean, I think he's bringing up a lot of good points, but it's like at this point in 2026, watching it back now, it's like, yeah, no congressman's going to think about that. They all thought they were above this. They thought that they would send children to die, but it's not going to be their children. And like, we all know that now. It is interesting to watch him in 2004, I think it was, that he made the documentary. Basically call out, be like, yeah, so we used 9/11 as an excuse to invade Iraq because they had oil. And that's just kind of common knowledge, I feel like, nowadays, or common appointment. And it is interesting to see that presented as a big reveal, I feel like.
Sure.
But I remember when the movie came out, I remember like this was about the time that I really started paying attention to movies, I feel like, as an art form, as a form of messaging, and as kind of like a cultural zeitgeist. And I remember people going to see it and it being controversial. So I definitely, scrolling through Tubi was like, oh shit, that's there. Let's see what it is. I've seen Bowling for Columbine. Let's watch the other one. So checked it out. I'd say it would be worth watching if you're a documentary fan or just interested in history, but not necessarily, going to be groundbreaking or anything like that.
Sure.
Last thing I got to, and this is me again finishing up here, but is a movie called Autofocus, which I would be shocked if anyone else has heard
what's
of.
that?
So it was one on, I want to say it was Tubi as well too.
Okay. Yeah.
Stars Greg Kinnear and Willem Dafoe. So one of our guys, absolutely.
What year is this?
This is 2002. It's directed by Paul Schrader, who you probably won't know from the name, but he wrote Taxi Driver as well as Raging Bull, and then has always been like a director, writer as well too, kind of in that Scorsese mold, I would say. Very interested in guys who are being pushed to the edge and writing about their problems and stuff. But Autofocus is a movie, 2002, I want to say. It is a historical fiction, or no, historical biopic in some ways. It's about the guy who was the lead character of Hogan's Heroes.
But I feel like I've heard of this.
But he meets Willem Dafoe's character, who gets him into like very early video recorders. So like we're talking like a guy working in the film industry who's now being exposed to, in essence, handheld video cameras, which is a big shift. And he almost immediately uses it for hooking up with women and recording the encounters. And like Dafoe's character is involved as well. And like no one really kind of calls him on it. It's kind of this open secret that he just like goes to like to hang out with his hi-fi dude, and they like going out and hook up with chicks and stuff. But it slowly kind of starts to ruin his life. And it's a true story. it really happened. This was a real person, and it's just kind of this very strange. Thinking on like the way that pornography has slowly evolved from like kind of like a film medium into kind of this like weird, like the main people who control its production are actually the people starring in the production nowadays in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But also like setting it in this world of Hollywood, and kind of like the movie almost makes it seem like, you know, Hollywood led him down this path, whereas like I feel like the story itself is saying, and like some of the actors are saying like, no, he was just kind of always this weird dude that was interested in this stuff, but he just found a way to find the outlet. So yeah, interesting movie. Again, was watching, scrolling on Tubi, and saw the kind of interaction between his character and the Willem Dafoe character, and was like, well, that's enough to get me interested. Turned it on and ended up watching it over the course of 2 days, and you know, enjoyed it. Thought it was an interesting kind of little movie. I don't know. It felt better watching that than it did like scrolling for 45 minutes to watch one 20-minute YouTube video. You know what I mean? At least
absolutely.
at the end of the day, I felt like, oh, I got told a story of someone and had someone's vision on there, and I'm at least interested. So yeah, that's kind of the mood I've been in recently. You guys been watching anything?
Nothing. Well, I mean, we talked about doing part 1, part 2, rewatch those. Rewatch the drama.
Oh,
the other
sure.
week.
Yeah.
Also,
we need to talk. Zendaya, just a movie star, like probably the #1 movie star on the planet right now. Like,
all right, guys. I mean, I may say something controversial.
Uh-oh.
I was talking about this here in the house the other day, and I called some flack. I don't think she's a great actor, man. And now, granted, I haven't watched Euphoria, and I think a lot of people say where her range is portrayed in Euphoria.
I don't like Euphoria.
But I feel like
I'm
a lot of the roles that I see her in, I feel like there's, how can I word this? There are personality traits, right, that bleed over into all of her characters that make me think that that's just who she is.
So I see what you're saying, and I'm not sure that I'm wholly disagreeing with you.
Okay.
But I think you're conflating being a good actor with being a movie star, and I think Zendaya.
Sure. Yeah.
I think Zendaya is a movie star regardless.
I agree. Then, yeah.
I think she has charisma. I think she's definitely got the charm. I think she carries a scene. I think whenever she's on screen, like your attention is drawn to her as well too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, on acting. Yeah, I would say there's probably better.
She's no Robert Pattinson.
She's not a Robert. I mean, like I'd even say like a Samara Weaving maybe has like a different
I would probably agree.
Acting kind of like, you know, like I'm always buying that's a real person who you know is just like fed up with shit, you know,
exactly,
and like I'm buying into that. But as a star, I think Zendaya is a star, is a presence that is.
She's got some gravitas, man.
Yeah, I think she's definitely
okay.
a part of that.
Then I guess that's a good way to word it. So I would agree with you on that. Then, but yeah, that's well said.
Yeah,
there may be some actors of whatever gender they classify as, right, who are in that same age demographic who are more superior, but in terms of just. You talk about putting like butts in seats.
Yeah.
Like Zendaya is now going to put butts in whatever the fuck she does.
Yeah.
If you put Zendaya on the fucking poster, man, like you've got another 60 million in ticket sales coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, I did rewatch the drama, which is one I like the movie a lot. It's growing on me over time. That's probably gonna become one of my favorite movies just to kind of rewatch. A great social experiment.
Yeah.
And a great discussion.
I almost
film.
put that on the other night. I'll get to what I was watching, but I did almost put that on the other night with Papa Schwartz.
Great discussion film, right? Outside of that, I did burn through went on Tubi the other day and burned through gearing up for the Resident Evil. Zach Kreger's. I burned through the first 4 Resident Evils. Which is what, like Resident Evil, then it's Apocalypse, then Afterlife, then I forgot what they're fucking called. Retribution. Something else. Nonetheless,
yes,
I got through a handful of them.
Apocalypse, Annihilation, Extinction,
and something. Yeah. But yeah, burned through the first 4 of those, and those are like objectively horrible. But like, man, I remember watching all of these as a
I like
kid
the
on
desert
sci-fi
one
and shit like that.
The Vegas one. That's probably the one I've seen the most.
That's the third one.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. The Vegas one where they're in the desert. Funny enough, it's got fucking Mike Epps in it, who's like one of my favorite comedians.
It's got the 2 curved kukri blades or whatever it is. Yeah.
But yeah, so I got through all those. Like, man, this is a fucking trip, dude. So I'll probably get there, but talk about the lore and like world building in that.
Wesker.
Yeah, funny. Wesker is like that guy's like, you talk about like scaling.
Yeah,
like this guy can fight a lot of people. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you start getting the comic book characters and whatnot. But yeah, that's kind of all I've been doing here. Is watching some of that stuff. And have I watched any other TV shows? No, I mean Euphoria in the background because I've seen like Haley watching some of that stuff. So I've caught a few episodes of that. So I have seen some of Zendaya's range a little bit, but I don't know, man. I'm not sold, but I don't want to hate. So nonetheless, that's where I'm at. Adam, talk to us. You said you almost put the drama on the other day with your pops.
Yeah, we went at a little family trip to Kansas City, short little weekend trip to KC. So while we were down there, I think one night we put on Other Guys, and the other night we put on Tropic Thunder. So some comedies that I watched bits and pieces of. I was pretty tired, so I fell asleep halfway through. But
now, has your father seen Tropic Thunder?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, I imagine.
Yeah. And then Sunday night we had some time. Once we got back, I ended up spending the night at my parents' house, and we put on How to Make a Killing, the Glenn Powell movie from earlier this year. But we scrolled past the drama, and I was like, man, I really want to rewatch this. And we also scrolled past. There's another movie.
Yeah, that would actually be a good movie, like with parents too, because it's a great discussion film, as I keep echoing, right? Of like, okay, like, what's your stance? Like, what if I told you this as your fucking child?
Yeah.
Right. Like what would you do? How would you feel about it now? It opens a lot of doors, man.
It's a crazy thought experiment.
Yeah.
Like it really is. It's a good movie. It's a really good movie. But How to Make a Killing was solid. It was fine. It was pretty much exactly what I anticipated, which was like a fun kind of like drama. I don't even know if you'd call that a drama. It's like a comedy-ish, I guess. Like
dramedy?
Not dramedy, maybe. Like, I don't know. It's a fun little story with Glenn Powell. He's Glenn Powelling throughout the movie, but
Did you like it more than Hitman? Did you see
No,
Hitman?
I actually really like Hitman.
All right, so there you go.
Hitman's better. So that's that. But yeah, that's besides Cubs baseball. Cubs are playing pretty well as of late. Chasing down the Brewers for the division title here. But besides that, that's pretty much it. Well, then, with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and move on out of here. Show plugs. We have emails, backrowbanterpod@gmail.com. Our YouTube is just Back Row Banter. Go subscribe there. You can find me on Letterboxd. That's AYYSH. Nathaniel Gingrich, where can the people find you at, my man?
At Nathaniel G on Blue Sky. Blake?
Letterboxd, BlakeHolder on their logs, things rated them out of 5 stars. Xbox, Mr. Water Coolers. PlayStation, Mr. Water Coolers. I think I'm actually going to go back to playing Ghost Recon Wildlands. Have you ever played that, Adam?
No, I know of it, obviously, but I never played
it. I just seen I came across something on a gaming Reddit forum the other day where like they just put out a free update where they basically gave it 60 frames per second in 4K and like a bunch of other missions for free, which is unheard of for fucking Ubisoft.
Yeah, and how
Right.
that game came out years ago.
The game's like 10 years old, but like I
Like-
played that game to the ground, like one of probably my most
Oh,
played
really?
games of all
I had
time.
no
Damn.
idea.
And I ended up downloading the update the other day. I was like, I think I might get back on this because it's such a fun game. It's like, it's effectively, it's almost like GTA, but with like the cartel. But you can do anything. You can drive around, you can raid other
Yeah.
houses and things of that nature. So, yeah, may get back on that. But that's where you can find me. And I believe you already went, right, Adam?
Yeah. You can close
Okay,
this out.
cool. Well, thanks for the support. Thanks for the listenership. As always, we appreciate it. Tune in next week for the end of Oak Street, the new Anne Hathaway, and trying to bank on the other guy, my favorite guy from Doctor Sleep, who happens
Ewan
to be in
McGregor.
a small film called Star Wars, which I didn't know until a few years ago. Please tune in next week. We'll be here, and we'll be RB.
America. Ready for another lesson.
Are you guys one of those my birthday is just another day guys, or are you a like
Yeah.
I like to actually celebrate?
I'm like in between.
Hmm.
I don't
Okay.
make a big deal out of my birthday, but also like it's a special day. Like, why not have a day for yourself?
That's
You know,
true.
you
I
only get
do.
one
Yeah.
a year.
I think I'm
Like,
in
well,
the-
have a day for yourself, but it's also like it doesn't have to be a big deal at the same time.
Yeah. Go ahead,
Like-
Nathaniel. What were we going to say, brother?
I think I'm in the same boat as Adam. I
Yeah.
think for a while I thought I was gonna be the former, the like, it's another day is what it is kind of thing. But I think the older I've gotten, the more I've been like, nah, I want to do this on my birthday and like do something and actually
Yeah.
care.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, I'd echo with you guys. I'm probably somewhere in the middle. The one thing I do try to say, at least being an adult, is I try not to work on my birthday.
Yeah.
I really just burn a day at PTO every
Yeah.
time it's my birthday. Like, fuck that, dude. You already work every fucking Monday through Friday
Yeah.
or 5 days a week, whatever your schedule is, right? It's like my birthday, dude. I'm taking the day off, dude. I'm not working. So I will try to do that every year.
Yeah.
And I guess that counts as something, right?
My 2 years ago when I turned 24, like had to work because I had just started my job 10 days
Sure.
prior.
Yeah, that's
So,
different. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not gonna just request off. But this year,
Did you work your birthday this year?
I was on vacation. I was in
Yeah.
Canada. It was a fucking awesome birthday. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it was we had so much fun that day.
That's
Probably
that's
the best
way to do
birthday
it.
I've ever had. Like, it was like on vacation in Canada. We grilled and hung out in the yard and played football and spike ball, and like the weather was beautiful, and
Yeah.
we did the hot tub and then the bonfire, and then my friend surprised me with the cake, and it was like yeah, it was a great birthday.
Yeah, just kicking it. Yeah, that's dope, man. Yeah, so yeah, I guess we'd say we're all probably somewhere in that middle line. I know there is a segment of men who are like, oh, it's just another day. I'm never doing anything, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I'm that far.
Yeah, that's lame.
That's probably people that
For-
like didn't have one, didn't celebrate it growing up, or had like negative birthdays or something.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Where I didn't really have that experience growing up. Like my parents had
yeah.
like birthday parties when I was a kid and stuff. But then
Yeah.
as an adult, I'm just like, yeah, like let me just try and like the least I can do is like just not work.
yeah, that's definitely.
And then like if I have the day off, then from there I can do something. So like this year, whatever day my birthday fell on, it was like a Tuesday or something. Hey, he was like, what do you want to do? I was like, I had the day off. I was like, dude, like honestly, I'm cool with just going to watch Bone Temple and like getting a burger.
Oh yeah.
And like,
Hell
you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's like, and
Yeah.
I'm cool with my birthday. I don't need anything else. It's like, that's
Yeah.
what she took me out for that. So that was cool. And I think the burger was like, it wasn't even nothing crazy. It might have been like Five Guys. It was like a burger and a
Sure.
shake.
Fuck
And just
yeah.
like that's all I needed. You know what I mean? So
Treat yourself, man.
yeah.
birthdays. Yeah, I think I'm in there with you guys. Well, hopefully, new little one coming soon has a birthday soon, and then we can find out ways to celebrate that next year.
My mom's birthday is the 24th, so
There you go.
there's like a small percentage
October?
chance.
Or
August,
know why
yeah.
I said
So there's a
October.
small
Yeah.
chance Ty's daughter could share a birthday
Okay.
with my mom.
Okay.
We'll see.
You got any August birthdays on your side, Nathaniel?
My mom actually, yeah. Sure, if they go to make it to the 22nd.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
50% chance that it shares birthday with one of our moms.
Yeah. Okay.
Not 50%, but you know what I was trying to say. Funny that
Yeah, I got the math.
Both of our moms are August birthdays.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've got anything to really do. My dad's an October birthday, mom's January.
I love my birthday, but it is a
brother's
bitch to
June.
try and plan around. There's someone always going on in those weeks of December. Like, it's just
for
people
sure.
are always or they're out of town around.
Yeah. Especially the older you get, right? People are
Yeah.
going back to either see their family or whatever they
Yep.
want to do.
Or I
That's
want
one
to get out
thing
of
where like
town.
Adam doesn't get that with the summer birthday. It's
Yeah.
like people are just always want to do more things in the summer. Then like Nathaniel's got the same thing where it's right before the holidays. Mine's right after the holidays. People are just like, nah, man, like I just burned 4
So
days
much
of
cash.
PTO to like
Yeah.
go back home.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like,
Yeah.
and then it's negative 10 degrees outside. I'm just like,
Yeah.
honestly, dude, like let me just go to the movies and like just kick it.
See, I will say it did suck growing up having the summer birthday because
Yeah,
never
no school.
celebrated it during school.
Yeah,
That
for sure.
sucked.
You don't get the cupcakes in the classroom
Nope.
for you and all that.
And then
yeah.
we do your half birthday, but like a lot of times my half birthday, actually, yeah, depending on the school year, but like June 11th, sometimes we weren't in school. I feel like June 11th, or January 11th, because it was that late for break sometimes. So, but yeah, I don't know. The half birthdays suck.
Yeah.
No, it's not my birthday.
So here's the question is, would you trade that? So would you rather have the birthday celebrations as a kid in the classroom where everyone gives you the gifts and the cupcakes and all that?
Ooh.
Or, because that is cool. You only get so many of those.
And
Like, you know what I mean?
Wait,
or
my
an adult
Were you
where
getting gifts or were you? We were handing cupcakes out.
I
on
guess
our
to your point, you
birthday.
normally bring the
Bring
cupcakes
the
yourself,
cupcakes,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. But you're still the coolest kid of the day.
It's
That is
still like,
true.
yeah,
Birthday,
it's still
right?
like, hey, your birthday. Yeah, everyone gives you that. Yeah, I would say, I almost want to say I would, just because I feel like birthdays meant more at that age.
yeah.
I cared more. Like now I just don't like I'm like you. Like if my birthday was in February and we just went and saw a movie and just hung out, like that sounds awesome. Like,
Yeah.
I'm cool,
Yeah.
I'm cool with that being my birthday. So I almost would
Yeah.
take that because then I would, actually get the clout when it mattered, but it is what it is. I like my birthday though. 7-Eleven is a good birthday to have.
Free Slurpees, brother.
Hell yeah.
Do you take advantage of that on your birthday every year?
I full transparency, I've done it once in my entire life.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I've definitely
just-
done it more than once. I don't
Yeah.
think I've done it post like 2007 though, right? Which I probably should.
Much
Because
bigger back.
you can legit just walk in there and get a Slurpee though, right? Isn't that how that works?
Do
Or do you have to buy
Uh,
something too?
You have to. No, I think you can just walk in and grab one.
Oh, man.
You kind of
I'm
have to like go
sleeping.
by the counter for it. I don't think you can just
Sure.
Guaranteed, you need to
Yeah.
have the app nowadays.
Sure.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You gotta have a certain amount of points,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You open the app. Do you got 100 7-Eleven
Yeah. Bucks.
customer points, whatever the fuck it is? Yeah, then you get a free Slurpee, and it's half the size of the one you would have gotten 15 years ago too.
With
Drink
twice the
inflation,
amount of
baby.
sugar and high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah. And there's a chance it's contaminated with the next parasite breakout.
Yeah, whatever salmonella is in that icy machine that never fucking
Yeah,
works at
exactly.
my 7-Eleven.
Who knows what kind of bacteria is growing on that thing? Gonna have a new outbreak.